Hello guys, I'm Seb from the Magic Crypto World, and today I'm gonna talk about a beginner guide for those who just would like to get into crypto, or who are not sure how this works and they may have questions. The questions you can add them into the comment part of it, or you can contact me via email. I'll try to answer all of your questions. The main thing before you even start with the whole process is to get knowledge and to learn a lot. It's not an easy job to do. It's not an easy um, way to make money. But once you have enough knowledge and you have the sense of how to make money, you will definitely be able to do so. The first website, and all the websites we are talking about, they will be in the description below. So the first website where you want to get is the CoinMarketCap. This shows all the coins. You can search for them. You can learn their abbreviation as well. You can see their volume, the volume, the circulating supply, their names, their full names, and you also have some tools here. You can even convert, of course. So you can even convert bitcoins or what kind of coin into US dollars or other currencies, and then you can calculate with it, and also you can, when you click on a coin, you get to the chart where you can buy certain coins. There are some of them. I went into Bitcoin, but if you go for IOTA, for example, you won't be able to buy that in too many places, but you can buy them. In these exchanges, you have to have a valid account, which needs to be verified. They need to have, in many cases, passport, a picture of you holding your passport, not letting somebody else to use your passport for registration. And after that, you're ready to go. There are different volumes you can trade within and withdraw within exchanges, and according to that you can dive into this. But firstly, what I've done years ago when I started to do so, to learn about cryptocurrencies, is that you'd like to get into currencies and learn about them. The best way to do is to go onto their website, which comes immediately from the CoinMarketCap. You can easily get into that and to learn about them. So you get a question, an answer for your question, what is that currency? You can learn about it. Also, you can download their white paper. You can see their roadmap, where when will they be able to improve and how. By that, it gives you an indication on, I don't know why the internet is that slow. It gives you an indication when is good to invest and to hold these shares or tokens or coins, neo coins, for example, And after that, so you will be able to know when people are talking about, for example, Neo, but it can be any other currency in here, to know what they are talking about, and to know what coin is uniquely capable of. For example, Neo, you can stack your coins and then you can get gas in return, which is here. Oops, here. So you can get gas in return at the moment. Gas before the weekend, it seems to be highly wanted. That's why the increase is almost 50% of the price. So basically, if you have $100 in it, or pound, whatever, what kind of currency, fiat currency. Fiat currency means money in everyday use, like dollars, pounds, bitcoins, and cryptocurrency means the coin, what you own. At the moment, this is on a $50, 50% increase. So if you invest in this $100 or $1,000, you can get if you had invested previously, by now you would have a 50%, almost 50% increment, so $1,500. There are many currencies. You will be able to know how to get into them, how to learn about them after a while, and you will know how to do so. The other source of knowledge, when people are talking about, and if you do your own research, you will be able to talk about that yourself as well, and more than likely you can have a very good question. So the questions are not like, I have $500 and I want to invest in this, and I want to invest it, what would be the best investment. You have a specific coin you want to invest in, and you ask about that, if at this or that point, because you have the knowledge to do so. So that question wouldn't sound so dumb, because many newbies, they make, and I can understand, it's understandable that they would like to ask about the currencies, but they would like to be told what to do and what to invest in, which is fine as well, but believe me, by copying others, you will always be behind them, and you may not be able to buy coins when you should buy them. So for example, if it's in a lower place, because sometimes they are talking about the coin now, and in 10 minutes that coin goes up, and you will lose the momentum to get into that coin. The other source of knowledge is Facebook. You can get into groups. You will be able to filter those groups which are worth to get in, and where you can get proper knowledge about cryptocurrencies, and you will be able to get into some, to make a portfolio, to make a to spread your investments, because it's not always good to have your amount in one coin. It's good to spread them. If one does better, you get better. If one does worse, then you can still hold it. And there are the long-term coins which you can hold, because, for example, you've observed in their timeline, in their life cycle, or I've had that the word previously. So in their roadmap, that, for example, in you would find a date like 2018 in some of the coins, like on their roadmap, when they come out with something which is worth to invest in. So basically, you buy the coin now and you wait till then, when you can even double, triple, or 10 times You can get 10 times more on your investments if you buy low. Buying low means, for example, if you look at the OMG coin, that you can see that it started somewhere in July. It was an ICO. ICO means initial coin offering program. When this coin steps into the market, uh, you can buy them at a lower price, as you could see here, for 40 cents, 50, 50, 50 cents, but during the ICOs you can even buy them at a much lower price. So if you get in the market into OMG coin at the moment, at that time in July, 16th of July, let's say, for example, for instance, and you keep the coin in your wallet, we'll talk about wallets later, you will be, by now, you can make almost, so it was a half a dollar 50 cents. By now that would give you a 20 times more profit. So you would be able to so here, if you get in with let's say at 50 cents, because it's easy to calculate, so 0.5 by $500, you invest $500 in the coin at 0.5, you would get 250 coins. But by now, if you get the $10 price for it, you would be at 2,500. And if you divide that with 500, you would make 5 times more. 0.5 by no. So at 0.5, you first, this is the wrong in my calculation. You have to be very careful with the numbers, because here you can just have to double check all the time. As you could see, I made a mistake even now after a few years of doing this. So basically you have $500, you divide that with the coin price, and you will get 0.5 dollars, which is half a dollar. You can get 1,000 coins, which you then sell at $10. That's 10,000. So, and if you divide that with the 500, which was your initial investment, you would get a 20 times more, a multiplier on your first initial investment. So this is how guys in cryptocurrencies make money. You can easily but sometimes you don't have to wait only 3 months. Sometimes you have to wait a year or even 2. But at the end of that period of time, you will gonna be able to count with a substantial profit. This is why the cryptocurrencies, not only nowadays, is so good for those who would like to get in even now. It's not late. It's how can I say? It's definitely better to be in much earlier. But if you couldn't, or you didn't hear, or you just came in to this video to look around, which is a good first step, you'll get a picture of how to do it. You'll be able to still get into coins. Maybe you do only 2 times more, which is 200% profit. But you will be able to learn even from losses. So it's not always like this. It's sometimes you make a loss, like I did previously. But once you lose, once you can gain. That's why it's good to diversify your coins, your investment into different coins, and to know when to get out of the coins and to count the profits and then to reinvest in something else. It's not good to get into the coins where they are high. You can get into them when they are low, but you never know when they are low that if they will go, lower or not. So this is the first source of knowledge where you can gather and you can learn about. You can learn 20 coins at a time. You don't have to know everything about them, but you can make a structure of each coin, what it does, what stands for, and then you can dive in. You can get more coins, and you can have a record what coin does what. The other source, as I said previously, is the ICOs. That means when initial coin offering is when a company starts, or a coin starts its life. Like we've seen in OMG or Neo, they started somewhere, and by the time being they get to somewhere where the price increased. So this is the point where you can get at almost the lowest price to a coin, and there are many lists on the internet, so it's just enough if you top ICO lists, or you put that in Google and you get the this was a random site for me too. So for example, there are some young coins at the moment which are on CoinMarketCap, such as Manetha, and you can see now it's 0.15. You have to know about this coin that it was the ICO of this coin, it was on 0.13, 0.14, so 14 cents, and now you can get in at a bit higher price, but not too high price, almost ICO stage price into it. Also, there is a currency called Agrello Delta, which was for 55 cents, 55 cents during the ICO. So now you can get in even lower than the ICO price, and that's a good sign. Another tip where you can have, or trick, is that in general, it's not always, and it's not a law, but if everything's fine with the market, there are no too bad news, there are no news which would affect substantially the market, is to get into the coins during the weekend or around Friday. But the best is when you get in during the weekend, because here you can see that there are some coins with some pluses. We don't get into them at the moment, but there are some coins which would worth getting into them, and you don't have to look at the highest numbers. You have to look at the quality of the coin, because some of them, they have very low market cap, like, I don't know, Manetha, for example, and people with more coins can influence price by dumping or pumping them. And the thing is with this, that you can, for example, Manetha is a good investment, by the way, if you do it, and you can get into coins which are at very low price at the moment, and even if you sell throughout the next week, if you find your numbers, if you find your calculation, even short term, you can get a profit on them. But here you can buy the long-term coins as well. For long-term holdings, you need a bit more research to know when it's good to get in, and to buy at the ideal entry point when you can get into a coin. So here you have, for example, in the top ICO list, you have all the active ICOs at the moment, so you can get into them. By the way, some of them they run out in minutes, so you really have to learn how to get into an ICO, how to set up um, gas. Gas is a fee what you pay for your transaction, but about that I'll get into that a bit later. What kind of wallets can you use? So I'll make a video about wallets themselves. There are some easy and straightforward wallets, but there are some wallets which needs configuration and a bit more knowledge. But we'll get through that in a later video. So here you can see many coins. There are some came with a halt. You can view the ICO. You can get the white paper from the ICOs directly from here, and you can decide whether to get in, whether to not to. It's also good to know what an ICO competitors may be. For example, in the next month, Minerva will, or Minerva, I hope I spell it, I pronounce it well, will come out, which is almost the same as Manetha. So Manetha is doing, it's offering a platform where for traders, where you can get reputation on your how well you proceed, how good seller you were. It's such like a PayPal with a lot lower, a much lower fee for transaction. For each transaction, this is how it works. You can also download their white paper and to see how it works. But Minerva, so this they are working on 1.5% fees, which is still the lowest than the PayPal's 3% fee. So they have a competitive advantage in front of PayPal. And Minerva it will work with zero. So you can get into the ICO itself, and they work with 0%. They have a diagram of how will they invest your money with which you participate into their ICO. You have the team itself. So you have every information you need, and if you don't, you still can contact them and it's good if they answer quickly. That's a good sign that they really they are really confident in what they are doing, and they are acting fast. So they will be able to get the same as Manetha gives at a 0% transaction fee. It's not a transaction fee, it's a fee to the seller, and buyer. They bring together the sellers and buyers. So it's a free PayPal basically. And there are many other coins like Utrust, where it's good to get in, Doc AI. So there are many coins and ICOs where you can get into an early stage. You can't go wrong with this. It's like you invest in Amazon 20 years ago. It's something like that, or 1997. Yeah, I think. So it's almost the same as that. Um, this is the other source of income. Of course, for some of them, you have to wait till they get up in price. Um, as I said, like for example, Manetha, if you would sell it now, you will still count 1 cent per token, but this is not what you want. And also another source of knowledge is to get into videos. As you watch this video, you on your way to gather the knowledge for needed to be able to start a trade and to get involved in the whole process and to make profits. If you're a technical part of so you more than like a technical geek or tech geek, you like more technique, you can get into mining to mine some coins, and you can observe here that some of the coins are mineable, like Ethereum, and it says here that it's a mineable coin, where you can start to look at how to mine and to learn how to mine coins. It has a official thread. BitcoinTalk.org is another good source of knowledge where you can get through coins from their beginning, how they started with it, and you can read yourself through about the coin itself, and how did the coin evolve. And also you can get knowledge about how to mine some coins, in this case Ethereum. Basically, the knowledge what you can get is a quite long way to get into this, but I'm very sure that in a short time while you will be able to make your first investment. If you want to go for sure, much better if you get into an ICO or even more, or you buy coins which are lower, so you buy before the weekend. But as I said, this is in general, it's not all the time, so you can get into a coin and that goes even lower easily. You have to register yourself in places such as let's say where you can deposit money and you can buy bitcoins, Ethereum, or other cryptocurrencies, such as Coinbase, Bitfinex, Bittrex, many things. And you have to be very careful of how you invest in these. You have to be very careful with your wallets, how you put your money in your wallets with the private keys. Through all of these we will get through, and late in some later videos. But for now, like a homework, it would be to learn about the cryptocurrencies in order to be able to make decisions in what to invest, in what to not invest, and when to get into the coins. It's like a stock market, but it's more volatile, and it's a young market where many coins are very young, so they have a lot of way to evolve and to increase their price, to have to make your profits. So this is the way how you get in firstly into cryptocurrencies, and you have to pay attention on detail, to be very careful what to do, how to do. But as a result, you can, if you do all of these, as a result you can get a very good profit at the end. You can make a good profit. You may not have to work anything. If you like this to do, you can do this after a time to quit your job. You don't have to, so it's not an advice. but this can give you the freedom to come out from your job and to do what you more like to do, uh, to learn, invest, to be your own boss. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate the critics, the constructive ones. I also would like to, and I will try my best to answer all your questions. If you have any, please post them in the comments section. Also, I'll leave my email address. You can ask me directly about the cryptocurrencies, and I'll be able to answer. Or I can give you the source of knowledge where you can get into this or that specifically. I'll leave all these links in the description below, so it will be easier for you to reach this or that website and to understand how the whole thing works. If you like me so much, then please subscribe, turn the notifications on, and I'll be there for you. I don't promise every day or every week. I don't promise timing, but I'll be definitely there. Thanks for watching. Bye.